Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy, and in my channel I talk about plants and my life and journey with my plants. I was going to film today, and I am filming now, but then I started doing like all these plant chores, and then I just got like really into the groove of like taking care of my plants, and I wasn't sure if I want to like stop the groove and then just like film, because you guys know I only have like such a short period of time during the day where I could film and edit. So I kind of just wanted to focus on plant chores this morning. So many things look so amazing, and I really want to show you guys. And it's really much, it's a very easy video for me to film, to just like go into the grow tent and like, let's look at some plants. So why don't we just do that? I feel really excited to show you guys some of those growth. A little bit of a live update. My mother-in-law was in town with us for the majority of last week. Wolfie was so excited. He's like 4.5 now, right? So this is the period of time where kids are the most kind of attached to and like in love with their grandparents, and he's in that kind of honeymoon stage. He was so excited to see grandma, and he spent pretty much every moment of his waking hours last week with grandma. And it was, I'm sure it was tiring for grandma, because it was only such a short visit, and she wanted to make the most out of it too. So it was probably a lot, like very taxing for her, but I think the two of them got like so much connection, and she rode bikes with us to Wolfie's soccer game, and we went to the science world, and we had like donuts and ice cream and pizza. It was just like a super indulgent and fun week for Wolfie. And the night before she left, she like really prepped him. She's like, you don't need to be sad, because you're gonna see me before you know it. And that really was like cemented into Wolfie's mind. Let me just rest my arm on the plant shelf. That was really cemented into Wolfie's mind. The next day he went to gymnastics, and I heard him telling his coach, he's like, my grandma left, but I'm not sad because I'm gonna see her in no time. So, but that made me really sad. I kind of feel like, you know, I was born in Taiwan, and a lot of my family is still in Taiwan. And Jordan is from out east, from Ontario, and we're in BC, like west of Canada. So most of our family, they are quite far away from us. And every time we get to be together, it's like this condensed time. Like it takes a little time for me to warm up, and we try to like fit in the most in that short period of time, and then it's over. Like with my dad, it's kind of like that too. We just don't have that. We coexist in the same place, and we naturally get to just be together in like harmony, and not having to like make an effort or like look for activities. Things just happen naturally for you know, like other families who live in the same city. So yeah, that kind of made me feel pretty sad. After my mother-in-law left, I felt a little bit down. But it also makes me really appreciate the community that I have around me. Like, we have a neighbor that we have play dates with, we hang out with, and the friends that we have like around us in town. But that's how our last week went, and I was really grateful for my mother-in-law for making it out this way. And for those of you who have been following me along, you know that my father-in-law about a year ago was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. It was during pandemic. We couldn't go see him. It was extremely devastating, and he lost so much weight in the beginning of his treatment. And I'm really like proud of him. Like right now, all of his treatments are working, and he is still like really vibrant. He takes his dog out for walks. He works on the backyard. He's looking really tan and healthy, and he like chats with my mother-in-law like twice a day on the phone when she was with us. It was, yeah, I'm just really proud of him. I'm happy to report that he's still doing really well, and he's really still enjoying his life very much, and lots of projects ongoing for him to like work on his backyard. So yeah, so that's a little bit of update on that front too. But without further ado, let's go into the grow tent and look at some plants, and there's some really like beautiful ones I'm excited to share with you guys. Let's go. All right, here's the grow tent. Right now it's like 9:30 in the morning, and it's sitting at about 24 degrees Celsius. But I've also like been watering it and keeping the tent open. So I think when I opened it up, it was probably a little over 26 degrees Celsius. And the humidity, let's see, even with the grill tent being open, it says it's like 99 degrees, but it's like in the corner of the bottom. And like I said, it's probably a little bit wet because I was just watering the grill tent. Okay, yeah, my mic is on. That's good. Okay, you know what, guys? A while ago, I actually wanted to like do a focus like moss wall update with you guys, but then I really like ran out of energy and I didn't like the video, so I scratched that. But why don't we get started with like looking at this moss wall? Yeah, I think there are some fun things to show you guys in the moss wall. Let me turn down the light on the grill, like adjustable, and I keep it around like 30 or 40%. But I don't know, is that too dark? No, yeah, this is probably better for filming. Like a wooden board in the back, and I mounted it with this like grid, this plastic grid that I use to make moss poles with, and then I punch holes throughout the side so I could zip tie in various spots, even like in the middle of the board, so the moss wouldn't just like drop to the bottom. That's how I anchor everything in here. And then when I try to mount plants, I will cut little pieces out like this, like just a corner, and then with a sphagnum moss ball, I just stuff the plant in there. But what I was finding is that the water will kind of go down to the bottom, and various different parts of the moss wall would dry out much quicker, and the plant will like suffer. Like the watering schedule, it was hard to keep them at the same time. I'll have to like water certain parts earlier than other parts, especially the ones that were closer to the top. As you can see, this is pretty much bare on the top. I had to take quite a few plants out. They were really close to the grill light and burning, and I wasn't able to keep up with the watering. So I kind of decided that for the plants that were already doing well on the moss wall, I just keep it there. But from like higher top, I actually started hanging or stuffing plants in their cups inside, so then I can manage the watering better. They don't dry out as quickly on the moss wall. Even though the humidity in the grill tent is so high, the moss wall still could dry up really quickly. And I started doing that with like in various spots, just hanging the plants in there. And I don't think it hurts the aesthetics of like overall, because my aesthetic is just like wild jungle, and I think it still looks really good. Okay, so that's just a little bit of intro to what the moss wall is doing. And why don't we just get looking at some of the plants I'm really excited about. This Hoya Howegiana, I think that's what it's called. I'm so excited about this. I imported this a while ago, and I was really sad. It wasn't doing well, it wasn't growing, and then I had to reroot it completely due to root mealybugs. And when I noticed it started putting out these new leaves, I was just so excited to see new leaves, and after like having to kind of rescue it from just being really unhealthy. So I'm really happy about this. And this guy tans so well, so I put it pretty high up, closer to the light, to get these beautiful coloration. And another one that I recently saw in a Hoya group, someone asking what Hoyas tan really well. And this Hoya, I have to put the name on the screen, I don't remember. Is it Manny Francis? I don't remember. They say that it could tan really well too. So I put this up here, and sure enough, it has started to blush. That's super cute. Another plant that I actually had like to reroot, and it started to put out these new leaves, and that cute little red new leaf up here on the moss wall. I'm super excited about that one. Another plant that I put up here inside the pot is my Hoya Rebecca. Hoya Rebecca was growing really well, the spot that it was in, but it was just not getting any red, and I know that it's capable of being super red, so I wanted to put it here to expose it to a little bit more light. And it seems to have adapted to this spot pretty well. It's continuing to grow and put out new leaves. It's such a tree, this plant, seriously. The Rebecca, I know it's like very easy to find, and I don't know if people are interested in this plant, but it's such a good little Hoya. It's really delicate, really beautiful, and it tends really gorgeous. I think it's completely underrated, and that everybody who loves growing Hoya should have this one. Another Hoya I'm super excited about is my Hoya Russell. It was not doing anything for a really long time, and then I hung it like pretty high up here on the moss wall, and pretty soon after that it started growing these two new leaves and a little vine, and I'm so excited about that. Look how red these two new leaves are. And I have had these under the grow light before, and it turned beet red. It was so gorgeous, and I think the process has already started. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what happens with this one. But I also know that I need to monitor it a little bit. Sometimes they don't do really well after being like sun stressed for so long. I'll just have to see. But so far it seems to be doing okay, and I'm happy about the progress on that one. Another plant I'm really excited about that I haven't shown you guys, I don't think. Maybe I have, actually. Sorry, I was wrong. It's the Hoya Deikii. It's just hanging here now. It's not like super close to the light because it really can blush and the leaves can become really light color, but I want to have like a darker leaf. This is the newest leaf. Look how delicious it is. It's so sweet. I love it. Yeah, so that one's doing really well in this spot as well. Another Hoya I really adore is my Hoya Saragoensis, and it's such a big leaf Hoya, and it's just so chunky and satisfying, and it has a really long vine for a really long time, and it wasn't until recently that it started putting out this new leaf. Look at it, it's so cute. I love it. And right next to it, you can see I have a Hoya Pseudoliteralis. It also has been really slow growing for me. It has this really cute pink rim. The new set of leaves are so much bigger than the other ones. It kind of almost looks like Polyneura, the fishtail look. It's really sweet. I love it. And here is my Hoya camphorifolia, I think. Let me just see. I cannot never say this one right, so I always keep that tag in there. Camphorifolia. Yeah. And this one, my friend grows it, Maya grows it, I think just by the window. And it tends really well, so I keep it here, but it's not really responding to the grow light. Maybe it's just not the right kind of light to get it to be 10, but it is growing well. It's putting out this new leaf, and there's lots of new growth on this guy, which I'm happy about. This is part of the plan too. I really like this guy that's kind of sticking out. I think it's Anthurian Esmeralda, something like that. I don't remember, I have to check, but I love that it just kind of sticks out. It just adds a little bit of, I don't know, fun to the moss wall. I have a Hoya Philodendron brentianum in there. And sometimes I just don't even know where it has gotten to, and it just keeps like climbing. There's a little bit here, and it's up, growing up here. I kind of like that. It's just like it's doing its own thing and working its own way up. I like that. I guess the last thing I want to highlight on this wall is that I hung my Anthurium veitchii on the bottom so that it doesn't get too much light, because I don't think it can handle that. But check this out. It has been working on this new leaf, and it's unfurling, and it's so gorgeous. And it's got that like pink kind of bronzy tint to it as it's unfurling. I absolutely adore that. I think it's so amazing. I really love it. Another plant I want to show you the update on. I got this like really interesting plant from my friend Helen when she was doing a DOND. This is some type of cross. I don't remember what the cross was. But like it put out this like fully green leaf. And I think the plant probably needs that. So I don't know if it's gonna put out any more splashy leaves. It's working on a new leaf here. So it's gonna just interesting to grow out and see what happens. But yeah, so these are the 2 leaves on this plant. It's very pretty. Over to the right-hand side of the moss wall, I recently brought my Discidia ovata from the south-facing window back into the grow tent. It was getting dry up so quickly and it wasn't doing really well. And this is a plant I just absolutely do not want to lose. I love this plant so much, so I decided to take up some space in the grow tent and like bring it back in to grow in here, because pretty much in 3 corners I have Discidia. Like this corner I have the ovata, Discidia ovata, and then if you look on this side, this corner, I have this, I think this is Discidia Jerry, and it just loves life. In this corner, it's just growing everywhere. Yeah, and it's growing underneath here onto the moss wall. Yeah, so this guy's really happy. And then on the other corner, like across this wall, this one, I can never say this one's name right, but it is such a happy plant. All of this is new growth. It's so pretty. And look at this, a little bit of pink to the new growth. And then I have a little bit of strand that's just all white. Yeah, so the Discidias, really love it in the grow tent, and I love them so much that I want to just pamper them and give them space in here. So yeah, I moved the watermelon Discidia in here. I'm still really, really loving this guy, the Crassipitiolata Splash. So pretty. And I think, honestly, it looks so gorgeous with like the Sigillatas right next to it. They're both so splashy, but then the green and the purple really contrast each other. So gorgeous. Yeah, so the pot is hanging on the grid, like back in there. Pretty. These 2, I think, are new leaves on the variegated Waitii or Kentiana. I don't know what it is. So pretty. I moved my Latifolia pot of gold in here, and these 2 new leaves are growing really well in there. This is the Lacunosa Super Silver. Sometimes I have to be so careful because they're just like growing on their own, and then if I move them, I knock off some new leaves, and that really bothers me that I do that. Looks like, this is the Hoya pubicatus jungle garden. I didn't notice, but it looks like it's growing a new leaf, and there's some type of white stuff on it. I don't really find like those fuzzy mealybugs in here. All the mealybugs I find in here are the root mealybugs. I don't know, maybe it's just too humid for the regular type of mealybugs. I didn't show you guys this. The Sigillatus has some new growth too. It's super cute. One growth that I'm so excited about is the new growth on my Hoya pricktie. So, ooh, this guy needs to be watered. Look. So this is a new leaf that's grown out in the grow tent after import, and it's growing this new leaf. It has also flowered for me before, so it has been a really good grower. I want to show you guys the Lacunosa silver mint coin is here in all its gloriousness, and it's growing some baby leaves. And this is finally sizing up. I pollinated my Anthurium magnificum and my Anthurium forgetii, and I got so many seeds, and I finally repotted them into a bigger pot and move it to like a more situation. So it's finally sizing up, and we're seeing those silver venation I have another pot over here, which looks a little bit different. I really like that. It's kind of like you having siblings. Even though they're from the same parents, each sibling could look very different. Sometimes the vines grow so long and then I see like one new leaf here and then I'm like, who is the parent to this vine? Okay, it's this guy. This is AH something that I got from North Shore Tropical. And it's growing as beautiful new leaf. I have to say, I was watching, like seeing the old photo of my Hoya linearis, and it has grown a lot. Much longer now. So I'm really excited about that. Another plant that I really fell in love with, it's kind of lower down, let me show you, is this guy. I got this as like Hoya wilburgeae, and I thought it was the type that would turn really pink, but it's not. But it has been a really steady grower. Like this is the kind of leaves it's been putting out. But it also like just recently grew this set of new glossy black leaves, and you can see there's some apps to it. It's so cool. So yeah, I've been falling in love with this one again. I think that's one thing that's really cool about Hoyas is that it can really surprise you with the new leaves that it grows. It could be like, it can make you feel mad for a while and then it just can pop out a leaf that's really beautiful or like much larger or so much splashier. You just kind of sometimes don't know what you're gonna get. And I think that's one thing that's super exciting about Hoyas. This is another, I got this from Happy Planting AH021. And I got it because it has these like, it's a Finlaysonia with like a rounder oval leaf shape, but the new leaves I've been getting are all super like long. It's so very pretty. I just noticed this Hoya lacunosa, or is it, wait, yeah, that was almost dead, like super flat and super dry, and like it plumped up a while ago, and it's finally working on this new set of new leaves. I'm really happy about that. This is definitely a success story. I just want to highlight my beautiful Begonia Sinbad. I've been seeing it in like Alice's channel and Charmaine's channel or Instagram, and theirs looks so big and so beautiful, and I have loved this plant for so long. I grew these all back from a stem. They had all been I had 3 plants. They were all attacked by powdery mildew, and I decided to just grow this in the grow tent and like to keep it away from that danger, and they have been growing pretty well. Although I don't know how they get their leaves to be so huge. I want mine to be like so big too. I love this plant, and like the new leaves are so coral, so pretty. In the back it's pink. It's just so textured and so beautiful. It's so perfect. Yeah, my only wish is that I am able to grow this outside to enjoy the beauty outside, but I don't think I can. It just all the time grow powdery mildew. Oops. Okay, another plant I really want to talk about. Oops, maybe I should talk about this one. This is the only, I think the only alocasia that I was able to bring back from dormancy. I kept the corms, and I actually had to clean off all the roots because all the leaves died off over the winter, and then I just kept it in the pot and started watering it when it grew warmer, but nothing was happening. So I took all the corms out, cut off all the roots, and replanted it, and that's when it finally started to grow back. So I'm really excited. Look at this one corm with so many different grow points. Yeah. So that's my experience for this year's like regrowing the corms of alocasia. I had to cut off all the old roots for new roots to form. This is one of my favorite Hoyas. I actually, every time someone asks me to recommend a Hoya, like my top Hoyas, this would make the list. The Vitellina. It's just so beautiful and so easy growing. This is one of the new leaves, so pretty, and this is another one of its new leaves. I have a cutting that I rooted, and I have offered to trade it with a couple people, and they both said no to me. So if you're interested in trading with me, you're in Canada, you want a piece of this plant, let me know. I'm always happy to trade plants. I can never get enough of my Hoya Matilde. Since it started growing really well, it's just I have just been so in love with it. One thing that's a little bit sad for me is I got this from Hoya, etc., the Joy Splash, and I've been waiting it to grow, and I know that it has some like new leaf points throughout, but I did not notice it was growing a new leaf over here, and I kind of let the new leaf sit really close to another leaf, so as it was forming, it got really deformed looking, so I'm not gonna get a pretty looking leaf out of this one, but that's okay. I have to just maybe pay a little bit closer attention to this one when it grows new leaf. Let's take this trellis out so it doesn't hurt this new leaf. This is the green, like Rouge Caliana yellow. It has yellow flowers, and I don't know why I grow this kind so much easier. Look at these. Look at these leaves. Like, it's so much easier for me, but for the life of me, I cannot get the variegated version to grow well. I really love it. Every time I see other people with their beautiful pot with their new pink leaves, I'm so jealous. I think I would try again. Maybe, yeah, I'll probably try again. This is my Hoya Kolung that I got as a birthday gift from my dear friend Maya, and it started to grow just recently. This is one of the new leaves. It's really sweet. One of my favorite Hoyas. This No ID Verticillata, really splashy. I got it in a tray from Mom and Plants, Jing, my friend. I have another tray that I'm making with her. She's coming by this coming Wednesday, so I'm excited about that. I'll show you guys the plants. This is the Verticillata, like, variegata, and it had these like really wonky stems I grew out. I think it was crested, and these are the two new leaves that grew from the crested stem. It's kind of weird looking, and they're no longer variegated, but I think I'm just gonna leave it. I have recently moved my Sarah back into the grow tent. It's just so big, so I kept it out of the grow tent, but it wasn't doing anything, and I wanted to grow because I love it, so I made room for it. Right next to it is my beautiful Susie Q. She is so sweet. Oh, so beautiful. And then let's see, I want to highlight just two more plants, and then I'm gonna call it a day. One is this super sweet Marillii long leaf. I just love this shade of pink. I don't think anything else is like this shade of pink in the grow tent, so I really treasure that. And then finally, I want to show you my New Guinea Goes is finally growing. Not like super fast like how it's growing for other people, but at least there's growth. So I'm really, really excited about that. Let's get out of the grow tent. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy the little grow tent tour and the updates on those plants. I'm really excited about them. Going into the grow tent is like one of my favorite things to do. It's like a little getaway from my everyday life. It's such a treat to visit those plant babies. I know it's really crowded. It's probably like not everybody's cup of tea, but I love walking into it. I love like the feeling of it being like a jungle, and it works for me. Okay, I will see you guys soon again. Bye.